Pete, you're CTO at Twinkl.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Twinkl previously, we are a teaching resource company. So we create lesson packs, activity sheets, and everything else in between that teachers need in order to teach, but also at home as well, so parents can use this as well. We've been going for, actually this week is our 9th birthday. We've been going for 9 years now, and we are now used by over 178 countries worldwide, so we've got a decent kind of reach globally. And I had seen quite a lot of rapid growth over those 9 years to just over 500 people now within the company. 500 people dotted around the world, mostly within Sheffield. So there's about 270 or so people in Sheffield, and everyone else is dotted kind of globally around the world to make sure that we produce the localized content in those regions. But what we're continuously looking at is, for me at least, around the technology within education. What do teachers have to navigate within a classroom in order to teach, and what does the classroom of the future kind of look like as well? And a lot of that recently has kind of developed around augmented and virtual reality, and what does that mean to classrooms, how to use that technology responsibly, and should it even be used within the classroom. So that's what I've been looking at within the last 18 months, and we've moved into the AR space rather than VR space, because we looked at the technology that's available for schools. We didn't want to put a high cost burden onto education to adopt certain types of tech. We wanted to make it really, really easy access to technology and help steer and educate teachers in how to use this tech. So we looked at effectively, essentially tablets are in education, they're in schools, they're in homes. So that was the route that we went within that, and we've left virtual reality for now, at least, until that technology becomes more available to schools and homes.
Right, okay,
So what we've done with here on this video here, which is brilliantly cheesy. Essentially, what we've done here is try to introduce people into the basics of AR. So we'll go through a few bits in a minute. Essentially, introducing to dropping 3D models that are designed for education, designed for children, so they can start inspiring ideas and raising engagement. And we've done quite a lot of research around the appropriate use of augmented reality. So the likes of what you're looking at here is some of the models that we've created using Apple's Twinkl technology.
okay.
And I think if you move on to the next slide, it's got some of that stuff. So yeah, it's one of the models that we've got, for example, on there. We have basically the world's largest library of Twinkl models. When Apple released that technology back in June last year, we jumped on that straight away, knowing that it would instantly start triggering ideas and questions within the classroom, and it's a really easy way to adopting AR. Essentially point and play is what it is. You've got these 3D models, we've got dinosaurs here for example, but you've also got mini-bees for construction, you've got monuments, you've got vehicles, you've got everything basically in there. All aligned to the curriculum, which is the key part with everything you do in education. You need to make it relevant, and you need to make sure that teachers know what the aims and outcomes are going to be within the lesson.
So are these models, and presumably they're 3D, but they're also animated?
Yes, absolutely. We've got a whole range of ones in there.
So are these for kids to create their own experiences, or are these for teachers to create, lesson content?
Yeah, good question. It's both, ultimately. We are now seeing teachers leading and building lesson plans around this content, which is fantastic. But also, children are starting to do things that we can't imagine. That children's got the best minds for this type of tech. They do things that you didn't even imagine was possible with this. And creating stories like when a dinosaur visited the school, for example, or just being able to show a child the scale of an animal or an object, and they can stand next to it and see how big an elephant is, and that type of thing.
Right.
Just blows their minds. And you've got the ability, we've got the planets, the entire solar system using NASA's imagery, for example, which is highly detailed, and giving the ability for a child to hold the world in their hand is just a life learning for them, just a really inspiring way.
So they can take a tablet and look at the screen and see their hand in front of the screen.
Yeah.
And it will have Saturn or Jupiter
right in front of in their eyes.
Slowly rotating with full NASA.
Yeah, with really sharp detail. Yes, it's amazing to kind of look at and watch. And the best part always is seeing the child's face when they see it, and watching that light up, and you know instantly you've done something right. And then the amount of knowledge a child retains is amazing. You can see my own children using this tech, and they can tell me exactly what they've seen, and they keep that knowledge as well, which is exactly the reason why we wanted to develop AR is to help the learning and the education, to make it more fun, really.
Okay. So what kind of things are you, it's not just models and assets?
No, that's more of our entry point really into augmented reality. This is still a brand new technology and we need to take people through that journey and how to use it. Particularly within education where tech usually is about 3 or 4 or 5 years behind consumer level on that side of things. But that rate is increasing. So we want to take people through that journey, starting with very simple drop a model in front of you, through to what we produce with Little Red, which we'll show in a moment, is more around the complex AR and multiplayer AR as well within that.
Okay. Well, should we just...
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the promo video?
Yeah, it is.
So what looks like kids consuming something on their tablet, they're actually looking through the tablet onto that table in front of them.
Yeah, basically they've got this...
They're sharing an experience that is on that table.
They've got this game board, so Little Red is basically teaching the real fundamentals of programming to 5-year-old children, which is a really difficult task, but is now in the national curriculum, so we need to help teachers educate children how to use this. So what we've done, we've stripped out all of the code completely and gone back to how do you instruct someone to move, essentially moving forward, left, right, in this case with a woodsman, you're chopping down a tree and everything else to kind of complete those levels, using the story of Little Red Riding Hood, which is instantly known worldwide. It's a really simple game, simple mechanics of going through the rainforest to grandma's house. But what we've done within there is one, it's aligned to the national curriculum, so again, you've got the instant aims within there. But what AR brings you is that new perspective on how to solve puzzles. Because it's right in front of you and it's technically there, you can get any perspective that you want at any angle to help solve these levels.
Right. Look around underneath.
Completely, and you get super close up and see exactly what's going on, or get a really far perspective on it as well, rather than necessarily a 2D map that you don't get that perspective. And because it's there in the world, you physically move, so the active learning piece, which has been proven to increase that knowledge retention, helps as well. It's just more active.
So how many kids can engage in a single experience at the same time?
So with Cody Club, it's a multiplayer AR app. Was actually the world's first multiplayer AR app for education, and you can have up to 4 devices connect in the same world, and each one will connect or control a different character within the level, and they have to work together to complete the levels. So it's around increasing teamwork and the social engagement within education. And what we've really seen is working with children with special needs, particularly autism. They really feel safe and secure within these environments. So where they particularly feel maybe a bit more pressured or uncomfortable within team working kind of environments, they feel very comfortable within these environments, which is a byproduct. We didn't intend that to happen. But when we've been learning with the AR and working with some research companies, we've learned this and we've seen that how this can be used for special needs in the future.
Is that something that you just, obviously there's a whole pedagogic angle to this and research. So how inclusive is it? That's a big thing for me around inclusion. Every one of my applications that we get the team to build has to be inclusive and it has to be accessible and tries to, as much as possible, remove the stereotypes around these subject topics. So we want to definitely include more women in programming and in some of the other applications around STEM subjects and robotics, which we're doing later on, very much around inclusion and trying to remove, let's say, some of the stereotypes with it in this case. And this is the modelling crew that put it together. Amazing group of people, and I'm really privileged to have this as my team to work on these. But it's a mixture of devs, designers, but most importantly teachers. Teachers design and develop and lead these applications. It's not led by a techie person, it's led by the people that are using it in the classroom, which is the most important thing with everything that Twinkl does, is it has to be teacher-led. It has to be practical. These guys just blow my mind every time they do an application. They built Little Red in 2 months from idea to completion and go live, and every time they do an app, it's usually between 2 and 3 months later they get through it. So there's a whole suite of different applications that you're developing with the same core technology and ethos.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got the likes of architect, which is around teaching construction and STEM subjects, 1 to upper key stage 1, so upper primary school, lower secondary. And next week we've got a really big application working with UK Robotics to bring robotics to a younger audience, and again trying to remove the stereotypes around robotics, trying to include more girls and women into robotics at an earlier stage as well. And that's going to be a nationwide competition on that as well, so it should be good fun.
Awesome. Well, Pete, thanks very much.